We always hear that discipline compounds, and it's true, it does compound. But laziness compounds just as much, if not more, than discipline does. And what I mean by that is, like, it's very easy to go from being a disciplined person to being a lazy person, because all you got to do is stop doing what you've been doing. And it's so easy to do, right? You have a bad day, you don't feel like doing it, you stop. To go from being a lazy person to a disciplined person is probably one of the hardest things you can do, because you're so used to doing nothing, right? You're in your comfort zone of just kind of doing nothing. And then for you to become disciplined, you got to actually start doing things, right? So it's completely different to what you've been doing, to what you're used to what the norm is for you. One thing I've realized is that people struggle with discipline because their laziness has compounded so much over time that it's actually comfortable for them, right? It's a lot easier to be lazy in the present moment, right? But what's that going to do? That's going to make your life uncomfortable in the long run. Whereas with discipline, you're uncomfortable in the moment, right? Why would anyone want to be uncomfortable? Only if you have the vision in your head that your life in the future is going to be more comfortable. That's the only way you can actually stay disciplined and do the things you need to do or you want to do, right? Because if you don't have that vision in your head, you're always going to fall back to being undisciplined or just not doing everything that you need to do. Like, I'm not here to preach discipline to anyone. I'm not trying to tell anyone to do this, to do that. But if I can at least change the perspective of one person watching this video, I've done my job, because I know 99% of people are just going to see, oh, this is just another discipline video, yeah, skip, or just listen to it and be like, oh yeah, you know, I'll just go back to scrolling on TikTok or Instagram, whatever it is. This video is really just to try and change and give someone a different outlook on what they're actually doing right now and how it's impacting them, how it's going to impact them in the future, and why these things are happening. It's not because you don't want to be disciplined, right? It's because you're just too familiar with your comfort zone. You're too familiar with laziness, really. I don't like using the word lazy because a lot of people still go to work, they provide, they do the basic things. But to get to that higher level, you gotta do more than the average person. So I would say lazy in terms of the standards that they want to achieve or that they have set in their head. What you gotta do is you gotta become a whole new person. You gotta start doing things you've never done. You gotta put yourself outside of your comfort zone. Whereas going from disciplined to lazy, all you gotta do is remove some of the things you're doing. And sometimes you don't even need to remove anything. You might just be having a bad day and you do nothing, or you don't have a productive day. You start stacking days being unproductive for whatever reason. So then you've got two options. You either pull yourself out of that spiral or you keep compounding those days. And like, yes, I know it's hard to stay disciplined. It's hard to do the things you don't want to do. But the thing is, time is against you. Like, if you really want to do something, if you really want to achieve something, whether it's in fitness, in life, in school, in business, whatever, you're gonna have to give up that short-term discomfort, because otherwise those lazy days are gonna compound so much that when your eyes finally open, you're gonna see the amount of time that just went past, right? Like, you've probably wasted plenty years of your life already, you know. Like, me looking back, I always wanted to be a professional athlete, right? Why did I not become a professional athlete? Because I genuinely didn't train hard enough. Like, looking back on when I was a kid, did I work? Yes, I worked. Did I train? Yes, I trained. But now that I'm older, I understand what hard work actually is. The years that are gone by already, you can't get those back. What's done is done, right? So time is already against you. So if you don't actually change anything, right? If you stay in your comfort zone of being lazy or not doing the things outside of your comfort zone, you're just gonna end up waking up one day, all the time is gonna be gone, the pressure is gonna be against you because the time is so limited. How much time you've got left is so limited. And you're gonna be so discouraged and you're just gonna be thinking, ah, fuck, you know, it's too late now. A lot of time, people think that by them being lazy, it's a personality trait. It's not a personality trait. It's the easiest thing to do. We fall for it. It's okay, right? It's normal. Like, I've got lazy days too. But what we can't allow is for those days to compound. Because if you've ever noticed, right, obviously I'm a fitness coach, right? So I'm gonna put it in terms of fitness. Let's say you're consistent in the gym for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever, and you've got You didn't go for 1 week. What happens? Straight away, it's very hard to get back into the flow of it. Why? Because that last week, you've adjusted to life without the gym. So it's kind of become a comfort or the norm for you, right? So it's always getting back into the flow of things. For the first week is the hardest thing. Once you're in that zone, once it's in your routine, right, it's very easy. It's the same with being lazy or being disciplined. If you've always been a disciplined person, you just ride that momentum wave, right? When you fall, you don't stay down for too long, you get back up. But when you're lazy, when you've been procrastinating, when you haven't been doing the things that you should be doing, it's very hard to pull yourself out of that hole and switch your mindset to, yeah, I'm gonna be disciplined, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You know, a lot of the time, us as humans, when we hear something that we know is true about us, but we don't want to hear it or we don't want to accept it, we just brush past it or we ignore it, right? My goal with this video is just to, if I can help one person, if I can change the perspective of one person and they actually take action on whatever it is, it doesn't even need to be fitness. That's my job done for the day, you know, that's my good deed done for the day. So yeah, like, that's the cost of inaction. It's not your life's going spiraling out of control. It's just you don't change, you know. And if you don't change over the course of your life, then like it's a life wasted. You know, you've wasted a lifetime. Because the truth is, discipline feels so uncomfortable in the moment, but it will lead you to a life of comfort, right? It will. I have no doubts about it. It will take time, yes, but it will do it. Whereas laziness, it feels so comfortable in the moment, but it compounds so quick, and when it's too late, your life's gonna get uncomfortable. That's the only time you're actually gonna realize, shit, I've been lazy for too long, and now I'm here. What do I do? Oh, but I've wasted all this time already. It's gonna take too long. I don't have the time to reverse it. You know, that's why the cost of inaction is a lot more than you actually realize.